Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blu Cheese, cheesy stinky movies on Blu Ray. I'm your host, Paul A Presenza, otherwise known as the Moo Cow, Moo. And joining me for this episode is...
Jonathan A Moody.
Yay! And today we are going to be covering a movie called... The Devil's Machine.
Devil's Machine.
Ooh, can you tell who's on there?
Let's see. Jamie Scott Gordon, Victoria May, Jonathan Hansler, John Vangel's Amos. I've heard of him. Gordon Holliday, and it's written by Sarah Daly. And I don't know.
All right, should be interesting. People. This came from a haul, so we should be very interested to see what this is.
Dollar Tree haul.
Right. Now, we don't have a cheesy snack this time around, but we do have a chocolatey one, so that counts. Our little chocolate balls. You like little chocolate balls, don't you?
No,
I'm going to put a little chocolate ball in my mouth right now. Anyway, we're going to go away, watch the movie, and we'll be right back. Devil's Machine, baby.
Oh, jeez, what smells?
Well, that stinks.
On Wetterbach. What a load of fucking shite that was. I got no idea what happened.
So first of all, we have to explain that we tried to put the Blu Ray in, and the Blu Ray wouldn't even work. And that was frustrating for the first 5 minutes, trying to figure out if there was a way to make it work, and we couldn't. So SP releasing, yeah,
your Blu-rays suck.
Yeah. You traded this in, right? You gave me the DVD.
So you can have it. You can have this movie forever. Forever. I
mean, whatever. I own movies that I'm probably never going to watch again just because it's my collection. You know, I'm okay to have this as a collection, but yeah, I'll never watch it again. This movie was terrible.
Oh my god.
So,
confusing.
Let me read the back of the box, okay?
Might as well.
Brendan Cole. Well, we'll never get his last name. We just hear Brendan. Played by Jamie Scott Gordon.
That's the bearded Scottish lad.
Yes, sir. Is an antique expert hired to authenticate a cursed $300 clockwork doll.
$300?
300-year-old. Oh. $300. 300-year-old clockwork doll known as the Infernal Princess for £1 million.
She doesn't weigh that much.
That's British dollars. Along with this, Scottish doll. I thought Scottish. He's a Scottish guy. Yes, I'm sure, but whatever.
They're all Scots.
Along with his stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter. I knew it was something weird and freaky.
Yeah. Rose, played by Victoria May. The two have a week to get the doll to perform. They only have a week? I never got that.
Because if you had all the time in the world, there's no movie.
Right. To get the doll to perform the 5 acts it was historically known to perform. As Brendan and Rose dive deeper into the history of the doll, they realize it was commissioned by a general with an incestuous obsession with his daughter, Talia.
As you do.
As the doll's curse takes hold, the relationship between the stepdaughter and stepfather becomes more and more sinister as ancient suffering bleeds through the modern day. They mean they don't mean sinister, they mean incestuous.
No.
You know.
So I guess that's where the curse comes from, I guess, because the daughter gets put in the doll. She gets angry, and I guess she creates her own curse somehow. I don't know. It makes no fucking sense.
None of it makes any sense.
And unfortunately, it's one of those movies where all the flashbacks and all the dreams and everything intermingles. It's interdigitated constantly, so you have no idea
what's real, what's not real. We were talking about The Shining, because The Shining takes place in a big mansion, and they're all like kind of isolated. Yeah, it's a hotel. That's what I mean. A big like abandoned hotel, and this is sort of abandoned mansion. Well, not abandoned, but I guess the people never come back. So I guess they're given a week and they'll say, "Oh, we'll see you later."
There's like a million fucking people there, but none of them are real.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's
all
something
of it's
like The Shining.
dreams. So yeah, see, The Shining made sense for all those ghosts.
It was a great movie valued by an expert director.
And an expert original writer. But here's the thing. That made sense because the ghosts died inside the hotel, right? Like, they all died in the hotel, and, like, it takes, you know what I mean? Like, that all makes sense, right?
It's holding their spirits or
exactly. This doll didn't like murder all these generals.
Didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. So it makes absolutely no sense. Then why would all these ghosts be haunting this place?
I don't know.
And it's not this place. Like nothing happened in this place. This place has no historical significance.
Dumb ghost logic. I don't know. It makes no sense.
This whole movie. So like, it starts out with awesome. It starts out like we were actually like, oh shit, this is kind of cool.
Great locations,
Revolutionary War. You were wondering
costumes.
You saw the British flag, but you were wondering about the other flag. You know, like German. Is that German? And they're like, oh shit, that is German. That's the German flag.
Yeah, Prussian.
Yeah. So those two two groups are the British guy comes up and says. That she blah blah blah, and that was meaning I guess the doll,
because I guess she's already powerful spirit doll creature thing already, even though that just happened, right? It happened then, so all of a sudden she's already powerful.
So we get that in the beginning, and so we're like, okay, that's kind of cool, like whatever, it's a cool opening. We didn't think anything of it, like we didn't know who these characters were, what their significance was to the story. I'm guessing that's how the general died. He died at the hands of the British and everything, right?
I don't know.
Killing him because of the doll. I don't
know.
And then we get to the house, and the guy's like kind of checking out the doll. Not really. He's like just looking at the doll. He's not really even like you were saying. Usually you like. I guess you would take off the clothes or whatever, like the dress and stuff, and start looking.
See how it was created.
Didn't do any of that. You just kind of looked at the doll.
No, he just made sure that it was always there in the dark with shadows at night when nobody else is around, and then just kind of sits there and just looks at it, and
then it has these random dreams.
Falls asleep and has weird dreams.
It's not even falls asleep. He falls asleep. Like he's dreaming while he's walking around. It's really weird. Like it does not actually happen. Sorry. I have never once in my life just all of a sudden started dreaming out of nowhere. I guess I've never had a doll, like a clockwork doll that got made. So anyway, when they're at the house, all this shit starts happening. The guy starts kind of having this little feelings toward his daughter, I guess, stepdaughter or whatever.
Because that's what the general did with Talia, whom the doll was made on.
Right. And then later the general kind of forces, I don't know.
Here's basically what's going on. Okay? The general wants to fuck his daughter. So he kills her and he puts her inside the doll. So she's inside the doll and she creates her own fucking curse because she's dead and it's not a doll.
How does that help though?
It doesn't help. It's stupid. It's stupid movie logic.
How does that help? How does that help a guy who wants to fuck his daughter by killing her and putting her into a doll?
Now she's dead and inside a doll, but somehow that makes her powerful, and she can control everybody's dreams, and she ends up getting the antique guy to stay forever by making him see all these stupid things that don't make any sense. It's stupid! What a stupid movie! Boo!
We did say boo a lot.
Oh.
It would have made more sense had it been just the doll. Right?
That's what we thought. We thought creepy doll comes to life, starts killing people.
Starts killing off the people in the house. Like, that would have been cool. But we've seen that, right? we haven't
We've seen small ones. We've never seen adult-sized ones.
Right. So, okay, at least that would have had that, right? And so it would have been cool. Like, it would have been funny. It would have been funny if the doll was like, it was the wind-up thing, so it was doing it, it was killing the person like this, and then it stops because it started winding. Like, stuff like that would have been fun. Like, would have been fun. This was sort of like... But see, the biggest problem with a lot of this is, like, the thought of, well, if you're starting to have, like, dreams, you know, and they're starting to, like, really fuck with your mind and everything, I'm sorry, but £1 million is not worth, like, your sanity.
Well, and that's the problem. Nothing actually happens. Nothing. All of it is just a bunch of dreams.
So they would have just left.
Yeah, it's just so stupid.
So then the general shows up, and I'm just, like, thinking...
And then you're like, so the doll is not the one? Now it's the stupid general? And what the fuck is the general? Is he a ghost? Is he a doll? What
is
the
he
fuck?
A ghost doll?
Is it the owner? We thought maybe it was the owner dressed up.
No, but there was like other characters that were like wind up toys too, and so which made no sense because there's never any other talk about any other people being made as wind up things. So it was just like it was like The Shining at the end where like all the ghosts start coming after Jack Nicholson, but that made sense.
Yeah,
because they died there. These people weren't people that as far as we knew that were murdered by the doll. We did see one guy who got murdered by the doll, and we call boo.
Because he's like sitting there writing.
No, he's not even writing. He's not writing.
Well,
he's just talking.
I know.
It's
he's
like,
talking as if he has been writing.
Yeah, and he's not writing. He's getting murdered. And so I'm like, wait, he wrote this after his... No, bullshit.
Here's my confession. I'm getting killed.
I'm getting killed. I don't know. This movie just fucked with my brain so bad that I'm just like...
Bad. Just incompetently done. There was some decent acting, although I couldn't understand half of what the guy was saying because his brogue was so thick.
Well, it wasn't just that, but there was also really bad sound.
Yeah.
We had the sound all the way up and could barely hear it still.
I mean, unfortunately, there was a lot of incidental music that was played at the same time that they were speaking.
Oh, you were mentioning
so that made it worse. So I'm like, what the fuck? We had to put the captions on.
Yeah, subtitles. Thank God, SP releasing. That's the best thing you did for this goddamn thing. Also, fucking work on your Blu Rays, man. Make them work.
Seriously. Yeah, and it's just, it really made no sense, and that was the problem. I kept waiting for this to make a lick of sense. And we kept saying, you know, the things that we both hate the most is it was all a dream. We're like praying at some point the whole damn thing was a dream.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense.
See, that's sad when we actually want it to be a dream.
Yes.
Because we don't want it to be a dream. And when I get furious at that. That's like my...
Because it's lazy. It's the laziest writing ever.
Yeah, I give movies like... the worst if it's just dreams or it's just a dream or whatever. But this time I was like going, okay, now that would actually make sense for the movie and I'm okay with it. Like if it had ended where the girl like woke up or something, or the guy woke up and all of a sudden he was back in his own bed and shit, and then then his stepdaughter comes up and says, you had a phone call, you know, right? And it starts off that thing. I would have been okay with that. I've been like, all right.
We couldn't even tell what the damn relationship was. I mean, I thought daughter. You thought they were married.
I thought they were married.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on
because they seemed very close from the very beginning. So I was just like, oh, this is a married couple. Now we did in the beginning of the movie. I do remember them having that picture of all three. Like it was her, the dad, a stepdad, and I guess the mom else. Or whatever. Yeah. Which we never get to meet, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah, its function is there just to tell us what the relationship is, but it didn't do a very good job because we couldn't tell.
Well, no, we couldn't tell, and I don't know. So
you read it off the box. That's the only reason I knew it was stepdaughter.
Well, that's the confirmation, but like most of the time, she did call him daddy, but so did the doll. Right. So I thought that was just the doll. You know, perpetrating the daughter saying that.
Well, not just the doll, but it was Talia before she became a doll, too.
She liked saying, ooh, thank you, Daddy.
I guess.
I was just like, okay. I guess she likes getting whipped by her dad.
But it's so weird. It's like there's a scene where he, I guess, is possessed by the general, who's not really the general, but it's the doll in the background, and she's possessed by the doll, and they're sitting there at the goddamn dinner table, and he's like making her drink wine.
I don't know if she was possessed by the doll at that
but
time.
she's very, very happy with everything that's going on. And there's this nice strawberry cake there, and I'm like, boo! Where did that cake come from? Who made it? Nobody made it.
It was in the refrigerator.
No, boo, boo.
That's the only thing otherwise it makes no sense.
Too convenient.
All of it's too convenient.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Where's the chefs? Where's the people who actually make the foods for you while you're in the fucking mansion or whatever? I mean, it did not feel like, it felt like these people got their, like, you know, the people who made it got the chance to have a mansion and shoot in it. And they're like, what can we make this story out of? And they're like, we can't actually make a real doll. Let's put a human being in there.
And it's contrived because, like I said, every single scene where he's going to investigate the doll is when it's dark and creepy and there's no lights. When in reality, whenever you're investigating something, it would be in a nice bright lit room. The doll would be on a table. You'd be examining it so you can see it, write notes about it, instead of just like sitting in the dark. Ooh, I wonder what it's going to say. Ooh,
so,
are you going to move? What if you do this?
There were some really cool shots and some cool, like the director is really good at lighting and figuring out cool shots. No. He is not very good at telling a cohesive story.
His lighting guy was good. His camera guy was good.
Who's the writer? There's somebody. Sarah Daly wrote it. And
Sarah, you need some help.
Well, I swear I don't know if half of that is the writing and if half of that's also the direction.
I think it's
both.
I
think it's both. I think that, because you even said that before the direction too. And I think that might have been the problem, is like maybe the director had a different vision and the writer had a different idea
it's overly directed.
Yeah, it's overly directed.
There were problems with the script. A lot of it just didn't make any sense. And then the editing did not help at all because it was very, very confusing. Right.
There'll be a scene where somebody was like this close and then the next shot. Okay, so if you direct something, this is just for anybody who's out there to be a filmmaker and stuff, and I've learned this, and this is trial and error for me too. I've learned this shit too. But if you do not want a guy walking up to somebody like far away, and then the next shot be them, you know, because that can be very jarring to people.
Yeah, unless you're a ghost.
Unless it's a ghost. Yeah. But if it's a normal person, like it was in the beginning of the movie, there was like a scene where the guy was walking down the path, the British guy. And then the next shot is him right there. And I'm like, no. What you do is you cut away to something else. Like maybe one of the soldiers picking their nose. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. They have to be doing something else. Then, you can have like the guy there because we've established that some time has passed.
It's a shame because, it had some great costumes. The locations were absolutely fabulous. Some of the cinematography was really, really good. I kind of wish that I had seen it on Blu-ray because that would have made the colors stand out even more, even though I think there were scenes where there was way, way, way too much color going on. Not only has this guy seen The Shining a few too many times, he's also seen the original Suspiria
I don't know. It's Laurie.
Too many times.
It's Lawrie Brewster.
No,
so I don't know if that's a guy or girl. I can't tell.
Sounds like a guy, but I'm not sure.
Sounds like a guy too. I would imagine this would be.
Just there was just too much.
And Michael Brewster did the special effects, the visual effects, and half the cinematography with Gavin Roberts. Cinematography, I will say, was pretty cool. Like I don't have any problem with the cinematography in the movie.
Right.
Once again, cool shots. So I don't know if half of that was the director themselves, or if that was the two director of photography people who said, we can make this really cool looking stuff with whatever.
Somewhere along the line, somebody would have had to have seen this movie getting put together scene by scene and said, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's just leave it like this. No. It did not make a lot of sense. None of it made sense. It's just crazy.
This is bad. It was produced by both the director and the writer. meaning
Yeah.
that they were in cahoots
Pet
with each other,
project.
figuring it out. So now I just think that they just don't know. They just don't know what, like, because once again, if you have a cool story with a cool doll that's like kind of a human person walking around, like you think like Pinocchio.
Yeah, make the movie about that.
Yeah, maybe about the doll becoming real or something, and then becoming a real person killing people. Like, I could be down with that. But when you put in the ghosts that have nothing to do with like
the ghost troops, why were they even there?
Because most horror movies with ghosts, they haunt the place that they died in.
Uh-huh.
That guy died in the ground or whatever. I guess I'm guessing in the beginning of the movie. I think he got killed by the people. I don't know. So anyway,
it's just very confusing. It's weird.
I don't like it.
It wasn't very good. I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna take the last.
It's fine.
Ball.
There were some elements of it that I thought were pretty good. And who knows? Maybe these guys, maybe their second feature will be better. But this particular one, there's a reason it's at the dollar store, and we figured out why. In fact, if we could have gotten the Blu Ray to work, maybe it would have been a little bit better. Maybe there would be some extras in there. The DVD did not have any extras.
This does not say there's extras, so I'm guessing no.
So, a little explanation. Maybe I'll do some research on it because we just kind of grabbed this one and said, for this purposes, let's just check it out and see what we got. And speaking of which, we now have to come to the point.
Oh God.
Where there's the thing over there, okay. Where we go over and we figure out what our cheese score is going to be. So, is it going to be Gouda? Just cheddar, or is it going to be stinky blue cheese?
Explain what those are.
Well, if it's a good movie, then it gets Gouda. If it's kind of meh, it's just cheddar. And if it's a crappy, stinky, smelly piece of junk, then we're going to say it's a stinky blue cheese. So,
and this is our first one back for second season.
That's
Woohoo!
Right. So, are you ready to present what your score is?
I already knew it.
And 1, 2, 3. Stinky blue cheese.
Yeah, we both did it.
All right, so that's a -20.
Oof.
Eek.
Yikes.
Wow.
So, yes, -20 for us. We really did not like this movie.
We ate our chocolatey snack. I think...
That's all done. Yeah, that was good.
I think we can just have a snack. It doesn't necessarily have to be a cheese-related snack. It could just be a snack.
Because I think we went through all the cheese
We ate all our cheese snacks.
in the first season.
The cows are not giving us any more cheese. They've said forget
Well, I mean, we might have a cheese snack.
We could have a wind-up cow. Wouldn't that be awesome?
See, if you knew we were doing this, we would have brought a wind-up cow.
We would have brought a wind-up cow.
Yes, we found one. But
anyway, thanks.
We just thought we wanted to do something different and find something. And I had a feeling you'd pick this actually when I saw it on there.
It was a stinky movie, a stinky blue cheese kind of movie. So
it definitely felt like that. And look, I'm not saying that people shouldn't watch this movie. I'm just saying go in if you're going to watch this movie. And understand you're going to be utterly confused.
Be prepared.
You're just going to be confused the whole fucking time.
Right.
And that's whatever. Some people are into that shit, I guess. They think that they can figure things out and, this story leaves, open. No. This movie leaves nothing open to anything. It's a movie that I hope that the director and producers learned from. And they're like, we're never going to make a movie like that again.
It's very, very confusing.
As Ed Wood says,
confusing.
My next one will be better. Hopefully that's true for this director.
So.
I always have hope for people I've never heard of their, names. Because I'm like, maybe their next movies will be, maybe this was a learning experience. Maybe the director thinks that this is the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, maybe there's a sequel coming.
I hope not.
Well, maybe they have sex and they produce a bunch of little clockwork dolls.
Don't give them any ideas. Jesus.
With little babies inside them.
That actually wouldn't be a bad idea.
Ridiculous.
At this rate, I would take it as long as it's as long as that stupid general does not come back. No.
Yeah,
that was just ridiculous.
All
right, well, thank you guys for checking this out.
I think we've wasted enough time on this particular film. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Blu Cheese, and we will see you next time to see what other kind of monstrosity I can dig up on Blu-ray for you guys.
For us.
And we'll see you later.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Oh, geez, what smells?
Well, that stinks.
Nom, nom, nom. These balls are good. Sticky blue cheese.